Bitches presents.
Fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy night.
It's time to pump it up. It's time to move it to you. It's time to make you move.
Now, it is time to play.
Some of the acts I believe you've performed with, or artists you've performed with, are fairly well known. I also see somewhere that John Farnham was mentioned.
Yes, we had the pleasure on our first album of using John Farnham's sax player,
And
Steve
some
Williams.
gigs with him as well.
Yeah, we did a lot of gigs with Steve, didn't we, down in Melbourne?
He's known for the number of people who have been with him all
That's
through
right.
his career.
That's right.
So he must be a good
Yes,
fellow
very
to work
good.
for.
That was a big privilege. He plays all the sax parts.
And how many albums?
2 now.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we've got the original, our first album was called Mama Rock, which has, as I said before, 3 originals and the rest are covers. And our current album that we're working on now, we still haven't named it.
Come on, Reno.
Everybody names their album after one of the songs.
Yeah.
And I think, that's a bit corny. You know. Well, I just wanted to call it the Essential Brandi and The Badcats or something like that.
But Brandi doesn't want that.
I also see here back in about 2003 that you supported the Bill Haley tribute band with Bill
We
Haley
did.
and his comments.
Yes.
And helped a bit of a mini tour of Sydney and all that with them.
We did, and that was awesome because, they've become good friends of ours, and they allowed us to record one of their songs. We did a cover of one of their songs, didn't we, on their first
Talk to
album?
Me.
Pretty good friendship. They came out again recently. We supported them here in Queensland.
Yeah.
When they came out here
At the
last
Treasury
year.
Casino and
Treasury
Flounder
Casino
as well.
with them. Yeah.
Don't
Brandi,
you have to be nice?
are there many other singers like you here in Australia doing the likes of a cover of Susie and that?
No, I'm the only
No
Susie
one
Quattro.
can do it. They
Yeah.
can't wiggle a bum like she does.
Well, I do it all. I do all the songs in the original keys, and might I say that is not an easy thing to do.
Really?
Because her songs are, a lot of them are really very taxing vocally, and I play the bass and play and do, solos and things. I do it all exactly like what she does. So-
I love you with that big double bass. Is it a double bass?
Oh, not for the Susie show.
No,
I play the double bass in the Badcats.
Right, but with the Susie show,
I use
it's
my
just the
Fender,
guitar.
my Fender P. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Oh.
So it's a bit of a feat. I mean, there's not a lot of girls that can actually do that, and that's why there aren't very many Susie.
You're going to England next year?
Next year, that's in July.
Yes.
Yeah.
So way
So,
back in Italy, we're going to buy a mansion in Tuscany.
Well,
We're all going to move over there.
Susie lives in a mansion in England.
Well, there's so
Where she lives in England.
many similarities between
Oh, yes, I've got to tell you this story. Somebody asked Susie once, they said to her, what was the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you? And she said it was when she fell over the foldback speakers at one gig. And just recently at Maryborough, yeah.
the same
I
thing.
did exactly that.
you did it on purpose, didn't you?
It's a very small stage, and I said to the sound guy, can you please put the foldback speakers off the stage because I just don't have enough room to move around. And he said fine. So we got up on stage, and what he'd done was he'd moved my foldback speakers off the stage, but he hadn't moved Reno's foldback speakers off the stage.
Peter.
And it was like, because I don't know people anyone out there who's performed before, but when you're up on stage and you've got the lights at you, you cannot see.
Ah, yes.
And so you play most of the time you're performing blind. And so I'm moving all around the stage and dancing and singing and blah, blah, blah. I can't see where I'm going. So I move over towards Reno, which is what I always do. We do this thing where we sort of, dance a bit together with our guitars. And I went
Only
to go...
on stage, yeah.
Yeah. I went to move forward. I went to move forward, as I always do, because I like to reach out to the people. And of course, these fallback speakers were there, and I had no idea, and I went...
Oh, wow. Did you land in?
First song.
It was in the first song.
Oh, no, that's not fair.
It was really almost very dangerous because I was about 4 foot off the ground and I was dangling over these things and my head was I'm dangling. It was my bass that saved me because of the weight of the bass. That saved me from going head over heels.
Sure.
And so then I just pulled myself up, turned around, said to the guys, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's go.
Oh my God, I wanted to be somebody, and here I am.
landed in the audience.
I did, yeah, so there. And it was so funny because it was after that event that we discovered that she had a similar experience.
Isn't that incredible?
Have you ever had a chance to get to talk to Susie?
No, but I have held her hand.
Oh, you have?
Well, she's actually emailed Brandi once.
I've emailed her a couple of times. I've spoken to her on the internet, but no, I haven't had the chance to actually tee up a meeting. But I did hold her hand.
And when
I
would...
reckon her DNA is rubbed off on me. People say that I do a very good job. And once we were at the Arana Leagues Club a little while ago, and we'd finished our show, and this fellow came rushing up to me, and he said it was just such an awesome show. And he said he couldn't believe it. He said, I've got to tell you this. He said, I walked in and I was sure it was Susie. And I rang my friends and I said, Susie Quattro is here at Arana. And then he walked a few more paces and realised not quite. But he had to get closer to see. Like, in other words, from where he was standing, he could only hear and he could only see the actual movement on the stage, but he couldn't see the detail. And he was convinced that I was the...
Because you sounded so much like her.
Yeah, I do have to.
Oh,
yeah.
God. And did it take a lot of training, or do you just naturally have that voice?
It's just a natural.
Yeah.
We're both sopranos. I think that's what it is.
Ah, right.
You've got to have that timbre in your voice.
Yes,
you know.
yeah. And have you heard her recently, before we go?
Oh,
have you
yeah,
heard?
she was on Idol recently.
Yeah.
Did you see the Idol show, the Idol performance?
No, I didn't. I
You
just
look it
saw...
up on the internet, it's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that when you noticed that her voice had changed?
Oh, no,
so
I've
much?
known for years. I mean, on one of the video Leather Forever, you can, it's Devilgate Drive is down a couple of centimetres.
Ah, right.
No, I mean, you can pick it up. Musicians, we can pick it up.
Yes, yeah.
No, I've known for years. But I mean, you can't, what do you expect? How old is she? What, 60 and still touring? She still does those gruelling tours.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
gosh.
you can't do that to your voice and expect it to keep going on forever.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Absolutely. And when you're not performing, what do you do for entertainment?
You fight. Good on you, Reno.
She used to do a lot of that with Len too.
What similarities, like, Susie's married to Len, and
The guitar man.
Yeah.
always used to fight, and she used to complain that he was too loud all the time. And we're always fighting, and they're divorced now. So
So that must be next on the card.
I don't know if Reno can afford that.
I'll just go over and live with Len. We've got a lot in
Got a
common.
lot in common now, haven't you? Both had blue-eyed bitches.
We're going out with the wild one. So, but look, all the best then, and it's been
very much
great.
for the opportunity.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
MySpace site,
Yes.
www.myspace.com/Brandi and The Badcats, all one word.
That's
and
it.
all the info is there, and they can pick up your albums through that site.
Through
too.
Mustang Records, you click on Mustang Records, and that takes you to the Mustang Records site where our albums are on sale. Yeah.
Well, the second album won't be on there for another month or so.
As well as that, you've also got some tracks they can listen to.
Yeah,
on the
absolutely.
site.
Yeah, the tracks on the Badcats site, which is our rockabilly band, and then you can go to our First Friend, which is our Queen of Rock show, and that's where you'll get our Susie Quattro stuff. We
Wow.
have two sites, you see, one for the Susie Quattro stuff and one for...
One for the Badcats.
Trying not to confuse people, I tell you. It's not easy. The amount of times I'm standing there with my double bass and people say, "You're going to do Devilgate Drive?" How can I do Devilgate Drive on a double bass? Hello?
Which group do you have the most fun with? Solo performances, Susie, or with the Badcats?
Oh, we don't do a solo with Susie. It's a full band.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, no, but just you
as
as
Susie.
Susie or the
Oh no, I love doing both. Both shows are fantastic fun. Yeah,
So,
it just depends on what I'm doing at the time. It's good fun.
All the best to you. Okay.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much.